lot of things going on YouTube right now. A lot of very interesting things, and everybody's kind of talking about the tea. But before all of this tea happened, a lovely, lovely friend of mine, Liv Loves Her Makeup, created the Spill the Tea tag. And it's got some really interesting questions. And when I asked Leisha, if you don't know Leisha from xSparkage, I was like, what better video to film with Leisha, hang out at her house, than the Spill the Tea tag? She is amazing. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Hang tight. We're getting into it right now. So if you don't know Leisha, I have been watching xSparkage. I didn't even know her name was Leisha for like 3 years. I just think the xSparkage, I've been watching her for a long, long time. She's one of the original people that were doing beauty tutorials on YouTube with Marlena from Makeup Geek, with Emily Noel 83. Like, she's part of that group of people. And if you told me 5 years ago I'd be sitting with Leisha at her house, like, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have been like, no, that's not even a possible thing, because she's so incredibly talented with makeup. And a place where you can see her incredible talent is she actually did a masterclass demo tutorial thing with me on her channel. So I'm going to link that down below. She did this eye, I did this eye. She helped me through it. It was super fun. We had a great time. So definitely make sure you check that out after you watch this video. So the first question, I'm going to let Leisha answer first. Number one is, which video were you afraid to post on YouTube and why?
I think for me, the first one the one that comes to my head is the Eevee Blender video that I did.
Yes, and for those that did not see the Eevee Blender drama that Leisha was stuck in the middle of.
Yeah, it was, I had used this sponge. It was like a rubber sponge. I didn't like it. The company got really upset about that. It was just a huge back and forth. And I responded to them by posting another video trying to apply it the way that they had told me. They sent me a cease and desist. It just became a huge ordeal, and it was really difficult because I ended up just posting a very casual video talking about what had happened, the whole timeline. And I was worried because a lot of people don't want to see that, or I don't know. It's not like me to be, or it wasn't back then, I guess, for me to be like starting drama or being so public with that kind of stuff. So it was very difficult. People were really happy to hear that kind of side of the story. Right. And that one was really, really I don't know, it was like a should I, shouldn't I kind of thing.
Right, so, do I really want to go here?
Yeah.
And what's interesting is mine is actually kind of similar. Mine was my L'Occitane video that I did, where if you haven't seen that video, I know a lot of people found me through that video, where it was actually the first video that I filmed for them, which was the sponsored video.
Oh, boy.
I wanted to get it right. It was a sponsored video. I wanted to make sure I had all of my information, all my ducks in a row. I didn't want anybody to be able to come to me and say, hey, you're wrong on this, you didn't get it right, you missed something. So I spent so many hours researching for that video. The video ended up being like 45 minutes long. Like, it was on all, their whole one Immortelle line, and then we had the issue where they hated the video and demanded that I remove it. And I was more nervous about uploading the original video because I really wanted to do a good job so badly. And then when they wanted me to remove it, it's like, wait, what?
Why did they want you to remove it?
They wanted me to remove it because they did not like, number one, that I said that they weren't cruelty-free. Because they sell in China, but they market that they are cruelty-free because they don't personally test on animals.
That's an interesting...
But the general cruelty-free community, if you sell in China, then you are not cruelty-free.
Right.
But they didn't want that out there. I was like, but I say that in all my videos.
Yeah.
So it was this big whole thing. I'll link down below. But those two videos, I think, were the ones I was the most nervous about. Mostly the first one, because I just wanted to do such a good job. It didn't really work out that way.
It's interesting, though, when you have to find that line of with sponsored videos where you have to please the sponsor, but then you have to stay true to yourself.
Right, absolutely.
And that's awesome that you stood up for yourself, because that can be really hard, especially if it's, if sponsorships are new to you. Yeah. It's hard. It can be hard to realize, keeping your integrity.
Absolutely.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, and I told them ahead of time, the PR company that had hooked us up, I told them ahead of time, this is exactly what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I provided, and I'm not sure I think there was a communication breakdown between the PR company and the brand, and that was where, but I do not do commercials.
Yeah.
I don't do commercials. That's not what I do.
Right.
So, but that was, long story short, too late. That was the one. That's the one. Question 2. As your channel grows, do you find it more difficult to stick to your original opinions? And I think basically like the hype around working with a brand, it kind of leads into that, with other people, watching other people's reviews. Do you have trouble?
I think because I've been doing this for so long, I think that I don't worry so much about that. When I first started getting PR, I feel like it's super exciting.
Yeah.
It's something that you dream of, of getting makeup every day.
This brand knows who I am.
Yes, it's really cool, but I started to realize pretty quickly that the free makeup, the free things only go so far, but your integrity and your audience are the ones that are going to stick with you.
Absolutely.
And so I've really kind of strayed away from those type of feelings where I would review something, I would not even fully review it. I feel like in the past I would do swatches or do a quick eye look, and now it takes a lot to have me be really, really excited about something.
So you do not feel like that your opinions are swayed by all of that?
No. Because
you're not really focused on that anymore. You're kind of like...
Yes,
going a different direction.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really trying to bring it back. Like, in the beginning of YouTube, back in the day, we focused so much more on teaching and so much more on showing people how to apply makeup, and it wasn't so much about the products.
Right.
And as YouTube and the beauty community has evolved, it's become so many products and so much pushing those products, and this is new, but then next week this is new and it's the best thing, but then this is new and it's the best thing.
Right.
And I want to focus more on what it does. The product itself is not what's important.
Right.
It's if you know how to apply makeup, if you learn those steps, you can use anything.
And I've noticed that change in her channel too. You've kind of evolved into a different entity, like where you're kind of like, you went one way and then another way, and now you're kind of going back to your roots of it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's neat to see. It's really neat to see. So for me, I feel like I kind of have to check myself sometimes. Like every once in a while, I mean, everybody is kind of like, when I got the products from Drunk Elephant. So excited to get products from Drunk Elephant. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, Jen, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited because you're going to be honest. You're going to be honest, and it may never send you anything ever again. So just put your big girl panties on and just figure it out and just do the truth. Do what you got to do and make sure that you are 100% objective and not thinking about the brand, because it's not about the brand. It's about providing good, solid information.
And it's hard to do that.
It is.
At first, it's really hard because, like you said, you're getting Drunk Elephant. That stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
You need to be objective.
Right. Absolutely. Awesome. But I also know that there are people watching that they got money to spend and they only have so much of it. And they rely on me to give them information to decide whether they want to purchase and spend their money there or not. And that's a huge responsibility. And I take that responsibility very, very seriously. So, that's kind of where I go with it. As I think about the faces of people, people put their pictures next to their profiles, and I think about, Bobby and Lisa and, all these people. And it's like, I don't want to do them wrong. I don't want to do you wrong, because I know a lot of my subscribers by their first names. And it's like,
oh, I love it.
You know what I mean? Like, it's important to me to do right by them. So I don't feel like it's hard to stick to my original opinions as long as I imagine those faces. That's what's important to me.
That's amazing.
So,
we need more of that.
I think so too. Not to be, like this. I'm not trying to be like that, but I feel like people forget that there's people out there on the other side.
That's why you're doing these videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at least why I want to do them.
Right.
Why I hope a lot of people do them.
Yes, exactly.
There are other motivations, unfortunately, but we all know
what this video is about.
We all know this, but we're not going to get too into that. So I do not curse on my channel because I've never done it. I was a teacher for a long time, so I'm going to bleep out. Someone leaves you a radio edit comment that isn't relevant to the video. Do you delete it or respond?
So in the past, I actually got called out for this when I did my video about all of the cancel culture and all the controversy, the drama that's been happening on YouTube. Somebody had said, you know, it's hypocritical for you to be saying this because when you were like back in the day when you would get mean comments, you would say LOL or you would respond to them like snarkily. Is that a word? Snarkily?
Wait, I know what you mean. In a snarky way. Full of snark.
Full of snark.
Snarkalicious.
And I totally can see that because I remember getting comments about like your hair is in such bad condition, your eyebrows, this, and I would justify in my head like, oh no, that's my natural hair. And then I go back and look at these videos and I'm like, girl, no. Your hair was straw. But I didn't want to admit it. I was like, who are you to tell me these things? So a lot of the times what I find, what I would do, I do it very rarely now, but sometimes I'll write out what I want to respond to them and then just delete it. For the most part, I will just leave it.
Yeah.
I will respond. The only time I really respond is if somebody is saying something that is not true. So if that makes sense. So it's not an opinion. It's like, this is untrue. So if someone's like, you're ugly, I hate you. Okay. It doesn't bother me. But if somebody says something like that is like slander, I guess,
right,
then I'll be like, actually XYZ. I mean, it obviously depends on what it is, but that seems like the only time I'll comment. If somebody is saying something that is just like offensive or they're calling out a subscriber of mine, then I'll delete it because it's like, you can come for me but not my children.
I'm the same way. I'm very mama bear when it comes to that stuff. Like, don't call my subscribers names.
No.
Like, that's
no.
And sometimes I'll just delete that whole business because it's just not worth it.
No, it's just bringing more negativity. And so sometimes it's better just not being there at all because then people won't be worried about it. They won't be like, oh, what's going on?
Right. Because people love the drama.
Oh, yeah.
People love to get in the drama. But I've talked about this recently in videos that I'm very much a keyboard warrior when it comes to responding to comments. And like Leisha was saying, if you feel like someone has you wrong, someone has pegged you wrong, someone's accusing you of something that's not true, that's the one that's the hardest for me not to respond to. It's really hard. But it's exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I'm in kind of a transition period, you know, now that I've spoken about it on camera and now that I'm speaking about it again, I've noticed in the past few weeks I haven't had as much of an urge to keyboard warrior out. And I think I'm going through a transition where it's going to be a little easier for me not to respond to every single person that has me wrong. And I think that's a good direction to go in. I think that most people have their mind made up.
They're not. That's what I was just going to say. They're not going to change their mind.
Right. And it doesn't matter if I give them 4 video links that are contrary to what they believe. You know, they're not going to believe me. They're not going to take the time to click on the link. They're not going to take the time to learn. They don't care. They just want to insult me and move on. And that's fine. And if that's what they want to do with their life, it's not my life.
Yeah.
I have to choose what I want to do with my life, and that should not be responding to all of this.
There's this quote that I swear to God, I feel like a broken record every time I quote it. It's from Dita Von Teese, and she says, if you could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, but there will always be people who don't like peaches. And I like to always say that because it's something where you can spend your whole day trying to tell somebody, trying to change someone's mind, but there's like 9 times out of 10 they're still not going to like you. They're still not going to, it doesn't matter what you do, they've made up their mind. So that's good that you're going on that path. It's really hard to get there.
It is.
But it's something where once you realize that some people just their mind's made up.
Right.
It's not, no matter what you say, sometimes they just want that reaction.
Right.
And being able to move past it and go on with your life is the best thing you could do.
Yeah. And I think this year has been a very big year for growth for me on that. Very big year.
That's awesome.
And I'm hoping that I'm growing in a good direction. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So no guarantees. There's only 4 questions in this tag, so this is the last
it's
one.
Not like too long.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get some good information out there. So tell us how you feel about your channel currently.
This is a hard one for me because I've definitely, we were talking about this earlier, my channel was really, really like very popular, and then I took advantage of that. I will be totally honest. I felt like I couldn't be swayed. I felt like I was where I need to be, and I didn't have to worry about it. I had a child, dealt with some really, really bad postpartum depression, and totally slacked. And just in the last year, I've been really trying to get back to where I was, trying to get that grind on. But the problem is that I was trying to do all of these things that other people were doing instead of trying to figure out what I wanted to do, because I was so worried about what my audience wanted to see instead of thinking about that they just wanted to see me being me. That was like a Dr. Seuss rhyme. So that's something that I've started to realize, that I need to focus on the things that I like, the things that are important to me, instead of trying to constantly cater to what I think other people want to do. Because if they wanted to see what other people were doing, they would watch other people.
Right.
So I'm really trying to go back to my roots. I know that a lot of my subscribers are from back in the day, and they miss that aspect of YouTube because it's not really around anymore.
It's
of just
not.
sitting down, doing your makeup, talking, having a conversation. And so that's kind of what we're trying to go for. So right now, I am happy in the sense that I can finally see a direction I want to go in, instead of sort of just standing in like an open field, which is what it sort of felt like in the last year.
Yeah.
So I could say I'm happy with that.
Nice. And I'm very happy with the direction Alicia's going with her channel. And not to
you.
give her, I mean, it's not to like be like she needs my validation or anything, because, you know, she's
No, I appreciate it a lot.
flipping xSparkage. But, you know, I mean, it
She comes into my house, she's like, oh my, I was like, oh, do you want a drink? Do you want something? She's like, I don't know, I'm just trying to like, to take it all in. I can't believe I'm here. That's your tattoo. I can see it in person. I was like, oh my God.
I was fangirling a little bit when we got here,
So
just a little bit, but
cute.
I got over it. I'm
No,
still kind of, you know, but we've been hanging out for
Yeah.
a few hours, so we're past that, but I'm
Yeah.
still super excited.
No, I'm so glad that you came over, because it's, I love talking with people where it just, you immediately click.
Absolutely.
The second you walked in, we were
Yeah.
just like,
Oh yeah. All right. So as far as like me, I am happy with my content. I love my reviews and my review style. I love What's Up in Makeup and the Makeup Minute. But I feel like my channel feels so cluttered right now. Like, I don't know. And I usually put up 9 videos a week, which is a lot. You know, I've got 5 makeup minutes. I've got What's Up in Makeup. I've got 2 reviews, and then I've got the live chat that I do every Sunday. I think that's 9, somewhere in there. I think I counted right. I'm thinking, and I would love to know your feedback on this, if you've been on my channel, or if you're coming from Alicia's channel, breaking off the news content from the review content and making 2 separate channels. It's something I've been kind of contemplating and thinking about, because it really is 2 sides.
Okay.
You know, the news stuff that I do and then the review stuff is very different from each other. So I don't know. It's an idea I'm throwing around. So I'm not really sure. Am I happy with my content? Yes. But I feel like something needs to change. I'm not quite sure where I want to take it. I feel like something needs to happen, but I'm not quite sure what yet.
that's the worst feeling ever.
It's like, I'm thankful for my journey, and I'm thankful for how far I've come as far as my content and the information I'm providing. It's just, what's next? That's the question, is what's next? Let me know what you think
you
of
wanna
that
see.
idea, or if you've always thought something like, man, I wish Jen would just do blank, whatever it is. I would love to know what you're thinking, because this channel really is about you and me trying to give you the best information possible. So I'd love for this to be a conversation. So speaking of that, it's your turn. I would love to know what you think about, you know, any of the things we've talked about, you know, as far as channels that you watch, our channels. Definitely leave your thoughts in the
Yes.
comments below, because we are the collective brain of makeup awesomeness. So we're going to work together and have a great old conversation down below. And I want to thank Leisha so much for being on my
Thank you
channel.
so much.
I appreciate it so much. Like, this is like serious dream come true kind of situation here. Like, this is really cool. Like, super, super cool. So,
I keep looking, like, I'm so
Yeah.
into your makeup. Like, I really love, it's literally, I want like a mango smoothie. It looks so good.
Yes, and she helped me to do it. So don't forget to go check out Leisha's video. It's linked down below. Thanks again so much for watching. Mad love to you. And Leisha and I'll see you on our channels very, very soon.
Bye.
Bye.